It's now time to view up close and personal. Here, our camera will focus on Dr. Lalita Kaul, who's a teaching professor at Harvard University College of Medicine. Dr. Kaul is usually seen in her show called Health and Nutrition on Women's Worldview, Saturdays at 10 a.m. This afternoon, Mr. Aziz Haniffa, the chief editor of India Abroad, is found in conversation with Dr. Kaul. Let's hear them.
Hello, I am Aziz Haniffa, the editor of India Abroad, the oldest and largest circulating South Asian newspaper in the US. And today it's an absolute pleasure to have a conversation with a longtime friend of mine, Dr. Lalita Kaul, professor of nutrition at Harvard University in Washington, D.C. Lalita, it's a pleasure to be with you again, and tell me what are some of the latest developments in the field of nutrition and health as it relates to the whole gamut in terms of diet, etc. I believe there have been some transformational changes in terms of diet, exercise, etc. Could you speak to some of those new developments?
There are so many, such a vast subject, even, you take several segments. As I have been talking about different segments, calcium and all. In general, the most talked about and researched about is obesity. And they're trying to find new. And it's not a simple thing. Why don't these people lose weight? Just exercise and
eat
diet.
Well, yeah.
Eat salad and exercise. And I have a clinic and patients say, I don't lose weight. And they get frustrated. They go on yo-yo diet and this goes. But you have to understand so much about it, what medication they are taking. Now the studies are coming, antidepressants can cause you weight gain. What do you do if your doctor says you need it to function? So how do you balance? You have such a thing as insulin sensitivity, like obese people who have diabetes. It's very difficult for them to lose weight. And these are the studies showing you have so much insulin in the body, but it's not hooking on the glucose. So as a result, you get insulin resistance and don't lose weight. What do you do? Exercise. First they said you're going to do marathon walking. Now they say even if you do 10 minutes 3 times a day is fine. The next study is you can walk 5 minutes, and then 2 minutes do very fast brisk. So to break the cycle. So there's so much research out there. And now it is combination of resistance exercise and aerobic. Resistance is your body gets toned down, and it also helps, especially with obese diabetic. Resistance, exercise, and low carbohydrate, not zero. Then you can see a difference. So there's a lot of research. I'm constantly attending conferences on various subjects. So I bring all my latest information when I'm talking to patients, and completely I get a chart. I look and see what's going on. There are some who are very motivated. Some are motivated like he or she, they want to look good and all. Some say, oh, my health, I'm huffing and I'm puffing, I can't sleep, my glucose is high, this happens. So my first appointment is like 45 minutes to look not only diet, but also the family history. Is there this? And then I come out with a plan which suits the lifestyle of the person. It suits the food they like. Because if I tell them, oh, just take oatmeal and take salad, and at night just piece of chicken, how boring.
Yeah.
It is.
And especially for just on a personal note, just for a person like me, I've been during my young days, I used to be a big guy, but very fit, playing rugby for my school and then for a club. But then I came to the US, and then of course there was all this fast food and everything else, and voila, before you knew what was happening, you had already put on 20-30 pounds. And then as also a borderline diabetic, you know, it's and something that has affected me purely because of some of the excess weight I have. And today, like you said, obesity associated with diabetes is a huge problem, something that was never heard of, where you get teenagers, 12 to 14-year-olds, having type 2 diabetes. And the struggle that one has, there was a time when I had a trainer, and it was intensive training, and even though I was probably having like a 3,000 calorie diet, the fact that I was doing that intensive exercise kept my A1C and all that in control. But now that I've left, fallen off the wagon, you know, you find it, you know, getting a little the additional A1C. Yeah. And then you spoke about nutrition, how important it is. And especially for us South Asian guys, you know, our bread, our rice. When I go on assignment and come back after 3 days, I've had like withdrawal symptoms without the rice. How do you balance all that, especially from an Indian American, a South Asian American perspective? Because it has been found, even among Indian doctors, you find the highest incidence of type 2 diabetes.
Yes, diabetes is very high. It's even getting in Americans as well as Indians, it's rampantly high. I had a mother come with her 12-year daughter, and she says, I'm so scared, I have diabetes. Can you talk to her? So when I took her history, on the way to school, she stopped in fast food. I mean, there are some good things in fast foods. You enjoy, you go, but pick up. And then I said, what do you do? Oh, on my home, I stop fast food. So it took me a long time to talk to her. I knew I could not change her over time. I said, can you take one meal? So we did and made a dent. Yes, I get a lot of consults from doctors for they send their patients, mostly diabetic. They want to eat the Indian food and yet, you know, cut their glucose. As to how do you, when I take the first history, I also look at the lifestyle of the patient. Like I have truck drivers, they say they are all the time on the go, and they stop and pick up. Then I have house mothers. They say when I take the history, they're always, I was cleaning the jar, I was cleaning this, I had the tea, and then I calculate, I said this. Then I have a vegetarian, say, I'm vegetarian, why is my cholesterol high? Then I take the history, I said all these.
Idli, sambar, you know,
idli,
those
sambar is healthy, sambar is dals and all. But they're taking a lot of crackers, and they have this palm oil, all that saturated fat, it can be liquid. So when I see, I said, yeah, you're taking too much carb. I'm not saying you become a non-veg, but modify what kind of carb you are taking. So even people who are traveling all the time, and we can say, or there's a wedding coming, I said, enjoy, don't count the calories, and just 2 days before that, one scenario is 2 days before that, eat very healthy, not starve, just eat very low. And then on the wedding day, enjoy, come back and go back. So it's okay, gain 2-3 pounds. I don't like when the people become so obsessive. I was 140, now I'm 145. My world is falling apart. Okay, fine. It's a body. It's not a robot. You just press button. It's fine.
Now, in terms of, I guess a lot also has to do with the current day and present day world where the sedentary lifestyle hasn't helped. You know, when we were back home, you know, we would not really consciously exercise, but you're always walking, you're running, you're doing all kinds of things. Today, even the kids just flop in front of the television set, or they are with their computers or their iPhones and various devices. And also, even in terms of even going to the bank or even getting fast food, you don't even get down and get your fast food. You can just go through the drive-through. How much has this sort of sedentary lifestyle contributed to obesity, diabetes, etc.? And how much of a must is exercise in terms of at least 3 times a week, even maybe a brisk walk? And there has also been a school of thought which has been talking nowadays about, you know, the long 1 hour, 1.5 hour training is is not really necessary. If you can do some intense training for about 10 to 15 minutes, like doing virtually sprints while cycling on your stationary bike, or doing something like wind sprints, etc. What's the story on that?
Well, I have written a book, actually I am revising, it's 6-7 years old, Healthy Heart South Asian book, and to which my late husband did a foreword. He was a cardiologist. These are the questions I have put.
Yeah.
Why in fact South Asians are more at risk of cardiovascular diseases. One is sedentary lifestyle, high fat diet, and lack of exercise. Also genetically we have narrow arteries, and if for years of abuse diet and no exercises, they become hard and narrow. It's like kurkuri. It is true. Just true. So when they eat something and a blockage, and that's why I've given recommendation in the book. In fact, somebody from NIH bought for Christmas present 15 books because she had relatives, they had a high this thing. But as to what do you recommend, of course in general I'll say exercise. If you are over middle aged, gradually start doing resistance exercise, aerobic exercise, moderate carbohydrate, and it should be part of the your daily
lifestyle.
It's not like I went in a party and this girl running, I have to eat. I won't say the name of the place where they give the diet. I have to eat because I'm supposed to eat this. So I never give advice at parties. My friends say, we don't want to stand behind her. I said, no, eat anything. I don't talk. But if they come and ask me, I said, just call me. I don't want this focus. You are enjoying. Some people say, I don't care. I want to enjoy. So I don't want to spoil the party. So then I was laughing to myself. I said, I'll see her in 2 weeks. She'll be off the diet. She would have gained the weight. That's what happened. I met her another party and I said, hey, how is the diet going? Oh my God, I couldn't keep it. I have gained 2-3 pounds. And so this is frequent. And what happens is once if you diet very strictly, you lose weight and then you go off, you gain back most of it, and your specific dynamic action is lower. That is the energy it takes to digest food. So it takes lower. So body gets attached to it. I did in my PhD thesis work on the rats, before you make recommendations. I used to have rats in one cage where I gave them one meal, they ate when they were hungry, called ad libs. Then I had another cage where the rats were given only 2 hours. I made the same. They were so accustomed, they were ate. In fact, they became so vicious, I had to wear the gloves. So as we said then, we sacrificed. I saw the one who ate the same calories in 1 week, one meal, they had big stomachs. And the enzymes which make fat were very high. And the one who ate as they were hungry, you see the difference. Then we did these studies in the human beings where same calories, we divided in 6 meals. And of course, you have to back it up, the chemical lab test, and we got the lab test. But I have presented a lot of, so yes, it's the combination, especially we South Asians, if we want to have a good, now we're living longer, we've got to have a good quality of life. We have to start early.
You also spoke about the natural inclination of South Asians, the fact that the arteries are constricted, and that's why I guess we have a tough time raising our good HDL levels.
Yes, I have done a lot of research on that, collected a lot of data. HDL, anything above 35 is good. It's called good HDL. All South Asian, I'll say 90% have low, 27, 28. One reason is artery is narrow. The main reason is exercise. I can give you my own example. When I was growing up, I was studying. I hardly moved, even if you carried me to my car, it was so bad. And my HDL used to be 25, 30.
Wow,
And then when I got, after I finished my PhD, I did my post fellow, and then I said, oh, now I'm teaching all this, even though I have a handicap, being a South Asian, genetic. So what about the exercise? So I went on this, not marathon, you have to go according to age. You can ask 60-year-old person just run a marathon. So that's when I see the patient is I do it, to them, to their lifestyle, what they can do. So I started, and my next results, you wouldn't believe. How much was my HDL? 50.
Wow.
And that is my own exercise.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't
it was
know
just,
No, I just
it was
got
the exercise that
I
perked
was
it up.
doing some walking, and then I had, when it was winter, I had a bicycle. I made it sure like it's medicine or food, I had to do it. That did. And so exercise, especially for us South Asian, is very important, depending what age group you are, what your lifestyle is. So I make it a perfect fit picture. Somebody says, I was once consulting with World Bank, they used to send me the patients, and my job was to tell them how to incorporate. And many of the companies now have a gym. Some people say it's busy at that time.
A lot of corporate offices.
But in good weather, even at my university, which is on the hill, I tell them during lunch hour, take your meal first or after, make 2 rounds. That's part, because they are busy after work, they have home, kids. Or so I used to run a workshop at Harvard. I had a grant from DC where lunch and learn, they will bring their lunch and we'll talk the personal experience. I have written books on it, and I have had some successful cases.
And coming back to a nutrition question in terms of even our propensity to cook with a lot of oils and etc. Can you speak to like we don't like it boiled or grilled, we like it sautéed and cooked with a lot of oil, etc. They now talk about the fact that very light olive oil, and also now the jury is out saying that coconut milk is very good. What's the story on that?
First, about the oil cooking, I have in fact, a friend of mine wrote the book on Kashmiri cooking. I have at the end said, though there are some people who don't care, we want real. So I have given alternate. Same way, in my other book I have written on obesity, I have given alternates. Now, for example, insert say fish, Kashmiri Bengali is main. We fry the fish and then put in masala. So what I do is I put all the masala and just spray with oil and put it in the oven. Idea is to get, when it gets crisp, I make the masala and put it.
I see.
Other thing is like kheer, many people like, instead of making evaporated milk and cream, there is fat free, there is called half and half fat free. I made and I fooled everybody at my party. I said, oh, I got diabetes, I can't eat. For diabetics, I take it out without sugar. I put Splenda there. But I made it, so, I will gain. I said, no, it has only 25. I tried it first. It was thick and put the rice and all the nuts. So there is another. As far as, yes, on coconut thing, at one time we said it's a saturated. But now they say it's good for health. So my thing is, new things come like eggs. Now they say, okay, but still somebody who has high cholesterol, I say take twice a week egg, or take other days. We don't know after 10 years what will come out. Keep it in balance.
Yeah, so that was my final question, that sort of in the final analysis, that there has to be a balance you've got to strike with exercise and nutrition, but that both have to go hand in hand. That you just can't just emphasize on nutrition alone, but that you've got to have that exercise regimen into your program. And then I think the sort of thing that you kept hitting on again and again was that the balance should be gradual, and that just the radical kind of either nutrition or the radical exercise doesn't work if there is a balance. Am I reading you correctly?
Oh, you're 100%. It has to be gradual. If it is for losing weight, it may be, I might say one, or in the beginning they lose fast because water. And then I said, don't get depressed if you see it has gained, because body is fighting to go back to the old balance, and the water is, don't get it. So I give them, so yeah, you have to do gradually. You can do, some people will go 1 week fasting, this thing, Dr. Jetkin's diet. Oh, I lost 15 pounds, what do you do? Oh, I gained back. You should not gain back.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Sure.
Kaul. Absolute pleasure. Thank you, and very informative. Thank you.